Welcome to the Socially Not There podcast.
People acting. People acting.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Socially Not There podcast. I'm your host, Gabby, and today I'm going to be talking about exam season, how to survive exam season, because trust me, it's been killing me, right? Anyways, get your snacks, your yogurt, water, whatever you need, and at the end of this episode, you're supposed to get back to studying, because I know you're procrastinating right now. Don't go back to scrolling on TikTok. Anyways, I'm going to start off by telling you about the apps that I like. This is mainly for people that like digital note taking, because you can't use all of them with pen and paper. This is coming from somebody who literally has collections of pens, because I used to like writing notes, but now I type my notes. I'm a Chromebook kid now, sadly. Anyways, so I use apps like Notion, Knowit, Google Docs, Gizmo, and OneNote. The ones that I use on the daily are like Knowit and Google Docs. I use those on the daily. I haven't used OneNote in ages, but it's pretty good too. Anyways, but like my absolute holy grail is Knowit, because I love the PDF versions. So, alright. Here's how you're gonna take your notes now in class, so you can like actually focus. If your teacher is like one of them nice teachers that send the PowerPoints and the notes before class, what I want you to do is download that as a PDF, and then you're going to upload that into Knowit. And then I want you to use the sticky note feature, and then you're going to write down all of like the important stuff that's not in the notes that your teacher sent you while you're in class. So that will like give you more time to like pay attention to what the teacher is actually saying, instead of just focusing on notes. Because that's my thing in chemistry. I'm not able to actually listen to my teacher because she doesn't send notes. She likes to dictate notes and like whatever comes to her mind. So I'm there trying to hang on to literally every word that she's trying to say. So now, if that is your case, I want you to go to YouTube and then type in your subject and topic that you're looking for. And then I want you to watch those YouTube videos until you understand the topic. Now, after you understand the topic, I want you to teach the topic. So like get a pretend audience, or like if you have some annoying little sibling somewhere, just like explain to them the topic. They don't need to understand the topic, but just like explain them. That's called like the Freeman technique, and it's basically where you teach the topic, right? Google Docs kind of ghetto, but it's very useful. For example, if your school Wi-Fi is terrible like mine, and like every minute the Wi-Fi won't chip out, so you're going to use Google Docs so you can have it offline and do all of them, editing them. And then you can just, the thing with online notes that I love though is like you can literally copy and paste it, and it will be into any other platform you want it to be. Now for Gizmo. Gizmo is strictly a active recall kind of flashcards website or app. It has the app available too. So basically it gives you questions based on like the notes and like flashcards, that the notes that you put into it. It'll like give you questions. Well, not give you questions, it will give you that, but either as multiple choice or you have to type in where it highlighted out. So like it's basically filling the blanks. So that's active recall. That one is really good too. The thing about studying is you cannot wait till the day before. You have to somewhat study pretty consistently and frequently. Let's be so for real, nobody now study every single day. Like I'm kind of lazy, right? Anyways, but yeah, the next thing you want to watch out for or utilize are resources such as the AIs. Guys, Snapchat has AI now. You can ask it stuff too, right? I don't use AI to like do homework or like essays or something like that. Don't use AI for that. Use AI for like making you study schedules, making you study outlines, or like fleshing out notes, like asking it detailed stuff, and it will give you like notes on that, right? Use ChatGPT basically as a search engine. It kind of is, yeah, but like them kind of AI websites, that's what you should use that for. And then there's always notes online. Utilize that, especially if you don't want to write your own notes. Write the notes online oh, this is like another alternative if your teacher does not send you notes. What you're gonna do is you're gonna find the topic online, and then you're gonna upload that into Knowit, and then you're gonna use that sticky note feature again, and you're gonna go ahead and as the teacher is talking, you're gonna make your notes into those sticky notes, like highlight all of those stuff. That's what you're gonna do it with Knowit. Knowit is really important. As you can tell, I really like Knowit, right? Next thing we're gonna do is move on to study techniques. So my favorite study technique is the active recall method. If I get something wrong, if I'm answering questions and I get something wrong, I will literally remember the one that I get wrong. So that's one of the ways how I learn, by doing active recall, which is what I really recommend. So I'm gonna go through the list of like study techniques again. Did I tell you guys about the Notion? Yeah, but I made a Notion page for this podcast, so you can like see all the information. So I'm gonna leave this link to this page that's on what I'm doing right now in the description. So here are the list of like study techniques. The Pomodoro technique, I use this a lot too, and the website that I like to use for this is wonderspace.app. That's really good too. The Freeman technique, which I mentioned before, and it's basically you're teaching yourself or like pretending to teach. Next is active recall. Next is the blurting method, which is basically when you're just writing out everything that you know already on the subject, or you're basically just blurting out what you know already, and then you're gonna go back and then see what you don't know and study that. I've never been able to get into this, but maybe some people like this. I don't like this one. Next is the whiteboard technique, which is basically kind of like the blurting method, but writing it out on the whiteboard. Or basically what you're gonna do, for example, diagrams, you can draw the diagram on the whiteboard and then kind of teach it to yourself, if that makes sense. Next is the association technique. I don't know how to explain this. I just found this on Google. Next is mind mapping. Mind mapping is really good. For example, like literature, I would use mind mapping for something like literature, right? So let's say you got 12th Night. You're gonna have 12th Night in the middle, and then you're gonna have a segment that goes and say characters, right? And then you're gonna talk about how each of those characters contribute to the book and all of that stuff, right? So I think mind mapping could be really good for like stuff like literature or like more creative or objective subjects. Next is spaced repetition. So basically it's kind of like studying frequently, but it's, giving yourself time in between studying. So that's spaced repetition basically, I think. Don't quote me on that. Next is the SQ3R method. Again, Google that. And the Leitner technique. Again, Google that. Alright. Next, I have game plan or study motivation / discipline. You cannot rely on like motivation alone for you to study. You're gonna just procrastinate and end up scrolling on TikTok under your blue blankets. Yeah, I'm telling you about myself. But yeah, you can't rely on like motivation alone to do that. You've got to be disciplined. Set a routine maybe, or like, force yourself to get up out of your bed and go study. You know what I mean? Can't take a nap every single minute of the day, even though I wish I could. It's whatever. Next, you want to make a study schedule. I never use this. I never really make study schedules. I just study what I feel like studying or like what I'm lacking in the most. So, but I feel like you could benefit from making a study schedule, so you can do that. This part is specifically for the teachers. If you're a teacher, listen up, okay? Please do this. What I want you to do is send the notes before you teach the topic, so people can at least have time to look over that, right? Next, I want you to actually teach the topic, which means going over the notes that you've sent and explaining said notes. Next, I want you to do practice questions, because these 3 components are how you're going to get people to actually learn the subject matter. You've got to do practice questions or like do past papers. Because if you're not the past papers, some people don't know how the exam set up, and they have to get familiar with all of that. So those are the 3 things I want teachers to do. Like, please, if you're a teacher listening to this, or you want to get into teaching, like you're a teacher in the making, I guess, that's what I want you to do. Alright, so some study tips are like the major ones. It's you have to take breaks, because if you're tired, your brain not gonna absorb anything. Pray, guys, pray. You need to pray. Yeah, you should pray. Like, ask God to take every spirit of laziness and procrastination and ask him to give you strength. So pray. Yeah. Maybe take a nap before, but if you're like me and you know you're not gonna wake up in time to actually study, don't take the nap. Don't take the nap. Or maybe you should, but like, you know what I mean. Anyways, the next one is take your vitamins, because they do help with energy levels. So I do suggest taking your vitamins. Oh yeah, past papers is a really big thing, so use past papers. Use to-do lists. All right, for to-do lists to actually work, write out 3 main things, like the 3 major things you have to get done. So you have to like prioritize. That's what you're supposed to do. Because if you have a long ass to-do list with like 10 things, you're gonna look at that and you're gonna be like, ew, and then you're not gonna do anything. So don't have like 10 different things on the to-do list. I like to use a little mini whiteboard for my to-do lists. Yeah, plus like I'm looking at it, so it's not like in a book or like on a device where the app's gonna close or the book's gonna close and I'm not gonna see it. It's literally staring me in my face, and it's literally screaming at me, stop being lazy, do what you have to do. Yeah. All right, let's talk about study groups and like studying with people. You can have quiet study groups where they're only there as like a company, or you're gonna have study groups where you guys are actively participating to study. So for study groups, I recommend you can do past papers in study groups. But if you know I could just start chat out of your mouth and chat with your friend them. If you're going to do study groups, don't do study groups. You're not going to end up being productive at all, unless like you guys are just there to keep each other accountable so you guys can actually study. But like, if you're not gonna do the bag of chatting, don't bother do the study group them, because you just like a waste of time. Alright, I should have probably said this at the beginning, but you cannot be making study material when you're studying for the exam. Let's say you have the exam tomorrow. You cannot be making flashcards the day before when you're supposed to be studying. No, as you get the notes and the topic, make them flashcards. Because for me, I feel like I just be making flashcards and study material and calling it studying. No, that's not studying. So you're gonna want to make all those flashcards and all the study material way before you have your exams. So you know you have your exams, you just go through all of that real quick and fast. So yeah. Also, I recommend having a glossary with like terms for subjects like chemistry, biology, maybe even like social studies. For subjects like that, I recommend having like a glossary. So you know you have a thing with all your little words, them and all of that. Anyways, I think that is
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.